every time I think about it, I always wonder how the hell did we just overnight plan to do this, because it wasn't logical when I think about it. Especially, I think the restaurant business is one of those where so many things can go wrong, and you know, like the things that have happened in our restaurant over the years.
We were ready to get our hands dirty, right? So we were willing to do anything and everything, like in terms of licensing.
Number one thing that made American Joint what it was then was our marketing. Great for us, because what happened during that COVID period was we kind of managed to get into other industries like lifestyle, corporate films, making websites, building e-commerce brands. I'm Manan.
I'm Sai.
And we're the founders of Marketing Crew, a digital marketing agency based out of Mumbai. We wanted to start a podcast since a long time, and I think we've been floating this idea for a while, and finally today we've gotten to it. Why we started this podcast is for a number of reasons. Number one, to know and talk to people about what marketing is like today, digital marketing, AI, social media, all of these different topics, to talk with people internal to our company as well as external to our company. What happens is, since we're in the industry, we get to talk with and get to work with so many people from various backgrounds that every conversation brings out a little bit of learning and a little bit of experience, which I think this podcast will be about, to create a platform where we can share the knowledge that we have and the people around us have, and bring it out to people in a way that is easy to consume on the go and can help them in their journey of marketing.
So I think we should start with how our journey began together, where we met, what was our first venture that we started off with. So I think we should start with the American Joint, the restaurant that we ran 4 years ago, and how we started the restaurant, what were the things that we did in the restaurant, how well we expanded it, and how we transformed from being a restaurateur to people who are owning a digital marketing agency.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a crazy roller coaster. Especially, like, I remember I was fresh out of college and I had my first job, which I think I'd done 4-5 months. I'd worked in it, and you were, I think, I don't know.
I was in my final year of engineering.
Oh yeah. And yeah, you ended up becoming a restaurateur.
Yeah, so I think it was one of our friends' idea, who's a common acquaintance, and we know him since our childhood. He came up with the idea, and I and he were just discussing over the phone, and the idea came, and we were looking for someone to handle the marketing and help us grow. Then you came in, we started building it block by block, and then we went up to 3 restaurants in 3 different locations of Bombay.
Yeah, I mean, but there is so much that happened in the middle. Like, I remember when we first started the restaurant, none of us had business experience. None of us had restaurant experience.
We did not know how a restaurant runs, how to make a restaurant, and how to run one, how to run a kitchen, anything. We literally did not know how to do anything.
Yeah, and I still, every time I think about it, I always wonder how the hell did we just overnight plan to do this, because it wasn't logical when I think about it now. But now that we are sitting here and like after so many years, it kind of all makes sense.
I think it was an experience that you got without getting a degree in marketing. Something that I don't think any college or an institute can teach you unless you are on the ground, getting your hands dirty, talking to people, learning how things are happening and how the world is evolving, basically. And that is what has helped us to come so far.
Yeah, and I think the number one thing, when we grew the restaurants from 1, 2 to 3 restaurants, and at one point, I think we had 70 to 80 people working for us. I think the first thing and the number one thing what the restaurant business especially taught me was, when we work with somebody has a salary of 10,000 who washes dishes, to somebody who is the head chef and has a salary of 1 lakh, when you're working with this extent of people from different backgrounds and education, and yet you have to kind of deal with them in the same way, yet a different way. I think in terms of the experience of dealing with people, I think the restaurant business was, I think, our best lesson yet.
Yeah, because everyone is different. Every individual you work in a restaurant is quite different. The front of the house is way different than the back of the house,
Yeah.
specifically, and it made us better people, I feel, and people who could understand people uh, in terms of, may it be operations or coming up with ideas of dishes or marketing a particular dish or an outlet or opening a new outlet. That was something that we learned from there, and I think that is all has been helping us, and it is going to help us in the future.
And especially, I think the restaurant business is one of those where so many things can go wrong. And like the
Yeah.
things that have happened in our restaurant over the years, it's crazy. And like just the fact that every day you have to come in and solve the problems that are there. Like there is no other way to explain it. That you running a restaurant is coming in every day, solving the problems that are there, making sure things are live, going at the same time. You have to take a step back and make sure that
The wheels are turning on their own.
and we're going somewhere. Like otherwise, it becomes so.
Stagnant.
I think more than that, we get so involved inside the business that we forget that.
Being in the business, we should be on the business.
Exactly.
That is something that we understood after opening our second restaurant. But the first restaurant was, we were running the business like day in, day out.
Yeah.
We were opening the restaurant at 10, closing at 2, going back, coming back. But after opening the Borivali outlet, we understood that if we are opening and closing the restaurant, who's going to work on building the restaurant?
100%.
So I think that is something that we learned. And there were too many things that happened. May it be in terms of building the place from scratch, coming up with interiors, talking to different people, buying kitchen equipment, hiring staff. I think that is something that is what that business has taught us, right?
Yeah, I think especially because I remember when you used to go out to source, I don't know, wood for our seats or sofa covers. These small things, right? You never had the experience or you'd never done it. Okay, you would always be like, okay, today I have to figure this out. How do I go about it? Who do I call? I think just this sheer ability to hustle and figure things out, I think has really got us where we are today. I mean, I think it will take us far.
Fun, yeah. Because we were the people who were ready to get our hands dirty, right? So we were willing to do anything and everything. Like in terms of licensing, if you look at any restaurant owner who's new in the market, they are just going to find people who can make their way easy, pay them and get licenses. But in our case, we were the people who went to each place and figured out how we are going to get it. After that, you remember we started Cuisine Group.
Oh yeah. So I think that was that transition phase where we kind of were getting the restaurant business had taught us enough for us to help other people starting restaurants, because at that time also so many new restaurants were starting. So I remember, I think one random day we had this conversation, let's start a
Consultancy firm who can help new restaurant owners or restaurant owners who have been in the business. May it be helping them develop a new menu, change their interiors, hiring staff, or marketing their place. So I think that was something that we wanted to do. But once we started doing that, we realized that our forte was more
marketing.
Like building the place was something that we are good at, but promoting a place, letting people know about a new place that is coming up in a particular area, that is what we were good at, right? And that is how we transitioned from people who wanted to help people build restaurants, revamp restaurants, and run them. May it be opening a new outlet or marketing a new place. But then we realized we are way good or way better than building a place, than then marketing a place. Or
I mean, I still think that the number one thing that made American Joint what it was then was our marketing. Like you remember the Pay the Date campaign that we did for Thane, or the IPL campaign we did for Borivali, or the I think Go Veggie campaign we had done for BKC. I mean, at that we were at a point where Instagram was still not even there. If you remember, we had 30,000 followers on Facebook, and there was no Instagram at that point. There was like one random person had an Instagram account, and we didn't care about it. It's like threads, what I would say today. I mean, we care about it, but it's not still become,
It's not picking up yet.
it's not picking up yet. So, and I remember at that time when we used to spend 10,000 rupees on Facebook, the kind of reach we used to get,
Because the market was not that saturated
Yeah.
at that time. There were very few people who were into digital marketing or promoting a place. At that time, people were more into articles, doing PR in newspapers or flyers or all that kind of stuff. But that was the time we understood. Like if you go through a traditional route, still traditional routes are there. Putting out flyers, buying a hoarding or anything that is always there. But the amount of reach that you can get by spending 10,000 rupees on a digital platform, at that time it was Facebook, compared to, and at that time you could gauge, right? How many people are seeing your ad. Like, for example, you're spending 10,000 rupees on a particular campaign over a span of 3 months or a month, you could know that this many people have seen your ad. Compared to if you get a hoarding at any place, I understand hoardings are always there, it is a part of the business, but you never get concrete numbers from there.
Yeah.
It is just a branding activity and getting your name out. And right now, if you see, it's for bigger brands to do because the costs
100%.
are high.
Exorbitant.
But if there is a startup, they can spend money on reaching more people with the budget they have using Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, all the platforms which are available. And you can you can create different kind of content to reach different kinds of audience also, right?
Certainly, and like I remember at that point, engagement was so easy. Like I remember we used to do a lot of creative campaigns, getting people to guess dishes, match a drink and a dish, and all of these things. Today, when a restaurant does it, it's so difficult to get engagement. I remember on our Facebook page, we used to get 250, 300 comments on one post because, and simply organically.
Yes, because the market, there were very few players doing it, right? And there was, for example, there were 1,000, you consider 1,000 people looking at only 10 posts. Right now, if there are 1,000 people, they are looking at a million things happening on social media. And the span of a person that time for a particular post or a video was way higher compared to right now. Right now, if you have something which is not engaging or if it does not connect with the audience in the first 1 to 5 seconds, maximum 3, no one is going to react or going to engage with that kind of content, right?
Certainly. And like that's what I think, coming back to our journey, marketing was one of those things I think that made American Joint what it was at that time. Especially, I mean, that I think was at the forefront, and then the operations and the food kind of propelled it forward. But the marketing was something that we were so, I think,
good at
that point of
or
time.
we understood it better than other people
at that point of time, yeah. And I think that's what kind of structured even Cuisine Crew, because we figured that more and more of the clients that were coming in were all for marketing.
It became a marketing centric business compared to operations and culinary. It was the number of people who wanted to do marketing compared to revamping their menu or building a new restaurant. The numbers were different, right?
Certainly.
So I think at that point of time we understood what and how a marketing agency or we as marketers could help restaurant owners. I think that was the main transition, and I think then COVID came in.
Oh yeah, that changed everything. I think just when things were picking up at Cuisine Crew, COVID hit, and overnight, boom. Restaurants shut, bars shut, lounges shut, businesses go for a toss. Our restaurants went for a toss. At the same time, our consulting business, which was completely dependent on restaurants, and like overnight, we just had nothing to do. Like it was, I think I remember a day when I had called you in the morning and you were like, what do you want to do today? Like, because we don't have to go to the restaurant. We have no clients who require marketing right now. And we really had reached a point where I think
there was nothing to do at that time.
Yeah.
Because the restaurant industry in itself has taken a huge hit. Being a bottom heavy business, as it has a lot of operational expenses that you had to take care of, and suddenly one night you understand that 1 month your restaurant is not going to operate and it continues for the next 6-7 months. It was a very difficult time for everyone in the hospitality industry also. And for us because we were
connected in
like,
two
two
ways.
ways.
Yeah. And I think it's one of those things, you know, like as much as they say, jo hota hai, achhe ke liye hota hai, but when you're in it, you really don't feel it. But I think the fact that the restaurant industry shut down, okay, and it gave us time, because I think for the past 4 or 5 years before with the restaurant and cuisine crew, we had been so busy working in the business, trying to grow our business. We never took a step back to see, okay, what do we want to do in our lives? Where do we want to go? What are we good at? And what's going to make us money?
And what are the different avenues except hospitality that we can explore?
100%. And I think that's what COVID gave us. It's a very sad thing to say, but I really thank this lockdown period, because I think that's where cuisine crew transitioned into marketing crew.
Yeah, I think that was the time then we realized that it is better to run a marketing agency, as that is what we were good at, and we could, as we know how marketing works, it was not only hospitality centric. We could also start working for other businesses, maybe fashion, jewelry, or creating videos for big factories or B2B brands, and that is what we started, right?
Yeah, I think the fact that during that COVID time, when everybody was moving online and there was like a massive surge for requirement of showcasing your business digitally, you know,
May it be Instagram, Facebook, or building a website.
or creating a 3-minute film to make sure to tell the world what your business is. I think that surge, and we were right there. I feel like in that moment we decided, okay, let's explore newer avenues, and then we started building websites, we started doing videos, we started working with a lot of lifestyle e-com brands.
Yeah.
You know, we got into performance marketing, and I think those 2 years, I think 2020, 2019, when was COVID actually?
2020.
March 2020. So 2020 and 2021 for us, I think, were really.
That was the main transition point of marketing group, and us as individual in our personal and professional lives.
That's true.
So we understood like what things were needed and how we could do, and that was how marketing crew was born. I think June or July of 2020.
Yeah, July of 2020.
Where we understood how we are going to do.
And I think in Jan we went out, and like Jan, when the offices opened up, we got our co-working space,
and we hired 15 people.
Yeah, we went off and straight hired 15 people.
I think we did a documentary also for
Oh yeah, I remember.
Hospitality, where we interviewed a few restaurant owners and understood what were the problems were of running a restaurant during COVID. And what were they facing? How are they dealing with their expenses, their staff, and the losses, which were huge at that time. But I think hospitality has recovered very well.
Extremely well.
Post-COVID, because now people have started going out. Post-COVID, there was a way high surge compared to pre-COVID about the number of people that were going out, dining at restaurants, going to parties and everything. And the hospitality industry, I think, has grown really well when it was pre-COVID and where it is now post-COVID.
And I mean, great for us, because what happened during that COVID period was we kind of managed to get into other industries like lifestyle, corporate films, making websites, building e-commerce brands. And then I think in Jan 2021, we hired a bunch of, I think 15 people, I think we hired, and we took our co-working space. And when things started opening up, and especially restaurants started opening up, we had the best of both worlds. We had this segment which we had built during COVID, which was now doing well on its own. And then we had the restaurant brands who wanted marketing again.
The upcoming brands or the traditional businesses who had to go digitally post-COVID. I think we were at the forefront of that, and we leveraged that in a good way, right?
Yeah, I think that really helped us propel ourselves forward.
So I think we've talked a lot about what we've done in the past. Now we are in 2023, December, and this podcast was under discussion for a year. And hopefully this year in 2023, our first podcast was live.
I mean, I don't think it's going to happen because you're already in December, but 2024.
Jan, it should go live. What do you think? What are the plans in terms of us being a digital marketing agency, having everything in house, right? And the way the universe of digital marketing, which has evolved over the few years and is evolved, right? First, it was evolving years on years. Then it started evolving every quarter.
Now it's month on month.
I think it's not month on month, but every day you get up, something or the other is coming. So, what do you think? Where and how digital marketing is going to go? For example, in the first quarter of 2024, what do you think is going to be? Is it going to be a SMA, or it is going to be a not 100%, but a AI agency?
See, personally, I think, AI is one subject which has been talked on and on and on about, and we love ChatGPT. The amount we use ChatGPT, we explore it for the bunch of things that we do, be it making an Excel sheet, reading a Word document, creating a first draft of a script, or sending out a proposal, or we use it for everything. But I feel at the same time, the way you talk to it and the fact that there is a pilot will never change. No matter what we do, end of the day, people want to consume content which they feel has been made with effort.
And there has to be a human element to it, right?
100%.
So if you get something from ChatGPT and use it online, I don't think that works, but there has to be a barrier, like an individual going through it, adding a human element, changing a few things here and there, or it feels which is too automated. Sometimes, depending on who the pilot is, if a pilot is someone who knows how well he can talk to ChatGPT, I think that human elements comes into play while you are talking to ChatGPT. But I feel once ChatGPT gives you anything, maybe as small as a caption or a hashtag or SEO keywords for a particular brand, there has to be a person who's going through it, adding things, subtracting things, and changing it.
Certainly. So that's what I think. AI will make jobs easier. Clients will expect more, because now today, when it would take me say 3 hours to write a blog, I have 5 ideas in 2 minutes from ChatGPT which I can write over. So anybody's expecting it to happen faster. And right now we are in that phase where clients and everyone is not so knowledgeable about AI. But I think the first quarter of 2024 and at least most of 2024, AI will become more and more part of everybody's lives, and then they will understand the things that they can do on their own, which when they pay somebody like an agency like ours or a freelancer, they will start expecting more, because now they know what can happen for free.
I think the quantity and the quality variant would change. I don't think the quality would change, but the quantity would change, right?
I think both. I think quality will also change, because now you are expected to push out better quality having the support of AI.
And the numbers would also go, right?
Think about it 100%, because today, before it took us, say if we have a 3-camera setup to shoot a podcast, it took us a day to just cut the different camera shots. Now with the AI that's there, it automatically catches who's speaking, when they are speaking, who's supposed to be shown
in front of the camera,
which camera angle to switch, and it cuts the entire podcast within 10 minutes. So you spend that one day which you were going to spend in cutting it, now you spend more on making sure the right shot, the right expression, the right angle comes out.
The quality has to be
improved. Quality, quantity, both. And I think even in terms of pricing, okay, because of course inflation is always there, but today when I was giving a certain amount of deliverables for a certain amount of price, people will start expecting me to give those same deliverables at a lesser price, since so much now can be done in an automated manner. Yeah, I think that's one of the main things that's going to affect social media agencies as well as the overall digital marketing in the upcoming next year. And it's such an interesting and fun thing. Like, I don't look at AI at all as something as okay, what's going to happen? We're going to go jobless.
I don't think it is going to take anyone's job, but it is going to make everyone's job easier and better. I think a person would take less time to complete work and can think about more things. I don't think AI is here to take jobs, but to make jobs easier.
Certainly. And just think about the amount of fun we have toggling with AI. Like the so many things that we do. We find newer tools. We find newer ways of doing things, making things faster, look
Like in
better.
terms of designs, different things that we can do in terms of editing videos where you can incorporate AI. I think there are a lot of things that AI is going to help, and in the future it is going to get better and better, and we as individuals are going to get better as every day there are new AI tools that are coming in.
Certainly. And, you know, like that day we were discussing about how we want to personally also start, consulting businesses because you and me, I feel have been lucky to have the entrepreneurial experience with the restaurants, with starting the agency, with the people experience of managing people, helping people grow. We have the marketing experience because we've been on both sides, the client side as well as the agency side, and with how we think using AI strategy and all of these things. I think we have this combination and a way of combining everything to make sure that a business propels forward. What energy and what resources are required in which aspect. Okay, we are good at figuring this out, and I think that's why we've started thinking about becoming consultants on an individual capacity also in the coming
Like,
year.
yeah, helping businesses grow because I feel we are like two sides of a coin that understand how a business works and how it can grow. So I think that is something that we are working on, and hopefully, the next year we should start doing that.
Certainly. I mean, I am so excited to, because, when you're working in an agency, we are working with 50 brands simultaneously, talking to 50 clients. It's very easy to get, lost and like, okay, this is just another person in our lives. Everything just happens so in an automated, monotonous manner that we sometimes lose that spark that we had, like when we were running our business, and when you had one achievement, okay, and you would like be so happy about it. Now when you are working with 50 businesses simultaneously, you kind of lose that spark somewhere because everything is just one amongst the others, right? And when we become consultants, I'm looking forward to again work internally with businesses. Like, okay, we have 3 months. I'm going to work with you for 3 months. Come to your office once a week, sit there with your team for 6 hours, figure this out for you. What to do digital marketing, what to do in AI, what to do in strategy, what to do in your overall business branding, and put resources, understand the budget, and work with them, internally rather than working as a agency
As
and
a
brand external party. Yeah, like I'm really looking forward to that. And I'm sure you're going to enjoy that a lot with restaurants.
I think I am because until and unless you are an internal part of any institution, basically a restaurant, it becomes very difficult because things are happening too quickly there, and as things are evolving, I think it's going to be a good journey.
Yeah, I mean, knowing your experience in operations of restaurant, okay, and now having spent 3 years doing marketing for I think more than 100 restaurants, I think what you will really bring to the table is the fact that you will combine these both. You will not put out an offer which is not going to be possible to execute on ground.
Yes, because what happens is sometimes people don't think if there is something that is going out, may it be an offer or any combo, how it is going to affect the operations of the restaurant or the COGS. Because cost of every item is significantly different. Some items are at 15%, some are at 30, some are at 50, but the average of any restaurant is 35, right, or 30, depending on the kind of business they are. So coming up with campaigns or ideas to promote any restaurant, the backend has to be managed. It should not be that you're losing money by doing more sales. If you're doing 10 lakh rupees and you're making like X amount, and you come up with any offer and your sale goes up by 50%, it goes up to 15 lakhs, but your profit margins are cut. You are losing like 10% every month on that 5 lakhs and the 10% that you're making. So if your revenue goes up to 15 lakhs, you are making 0.5x instead of 1.5x. That is the usual this thing that needs to happen.
Where do you see your agency going next year?
So right now, December 23, we are at around 35 people. end of 24, I think we should be mostly around 50, 55. But my target is end of 25, we should be at around 100 people.
So that will be insane, huh?
Like 100 people together, working together, like a way bigger family than we could have ever imagined. But we had one while running a restaurant.
Yeah.
I would like to achieve that number. That is something that I dream of.
Yeah, I think that would be, if we can reach there, and
it would be insane.
It will be insane. But I don't think we ever thought that one day we will have 35 people under us in an agency business. So
I never felt that we would be running an agency. So we've come too far. So hopefully by 25 we have 100 or more. You never know, because it's an exponential growth, right? When you're going up, you grow exponentially. When you're coming down, you come down exponentially. So hopefully we don't stagnate at a point and we grow as and when it comes.
Yeah, I'm happy to know how optimistic you are. It's very unlike you, because normally I'm the optimistic one and you are like, okay, calm down.
Yes, but that is the way we work, right? You think about things which are not possible at that particular time, but we achieve it, maybe in a week, a month, or a year. But we take it slowly. That is what we learn. That running fast. Yeah. Sometimes it's good to run fast. Sometimes it's good to look down and run.
And more than anything, is the best thing is to know when to be fast and when to slow down.
But how are you going to get so many people?
I mean, I think we should tell the people watching this podcast. Hopefully, some people are
interested in joining an agency.
Yeah, and
so it's an ad. We are looking for
talented individuals
who would like to explore their life with us day in, day out. Maybe video editors, graphic designers, client servicing, or interns. Everyone is welcome. We'll put a link below of careers. below you will see and you can apply, and someday we can work together.
Yeah, hopefully. And I would really like to say this, and I think the most happy part of our job is seeing people grow. Like, I know,
grow with us together.
Yeah, like I know people who have come in our company knowing nothing, and today are probably about to start their own agency. And
one of them has
started also, and like that's what I like to tell also, especially when interns join, because the best part I like when people join as an intern is they're a blank slate. So we get to kind of carve them, mold them, and like nothing brings me more happiness when I see someone, okay, you came in like this, and this is when you're going out, you're this person, and some way, somehow I got a chance of being a part of this transition.
Or their journey in life.
And their journey in life. Like
that is something, because you know people who joined with a very little knowledge about what digital marketing is per se, and right now they are one of the top performers in our agency.
Yeah. And
handling n number of clients, doing n number of things, handling a team of 2 to 3 people under them, and they had joined us like 2-3 years back.
Yeah, it's magical. This is, I think, the best part of running a business. For me, I think, be it our restaurants or be it our agency, the best part has been seeing people grow and being a part of this little journey
of each individual that they are.
100%.
And as a group also, like we have evolved. We have seen people evolved as individuals also. We've seen people evolved as a family.
Yeah.
We together with them. So I think that is something that we've learned, and we'll keep on learning, because every day brings something new. Hopefully some days they don't, but every day is something that is there, that we don't know what is going to come tomorrow. Like, for example, Threads.
Yeah.
It came out of nowhere, and everyone thought it is going to be the next Twitter or X or TikTok. But it's not there. So it is something that we are learning every day. So let's see.
Yeah, and I think that's what this podcast will help us explore. I think we would love to have even people from internal of our company come and speak, outside of our company come and speak, and we can talk about all these things to learn from each other.
It's about us learning something new from people that we know, and whoever is watching this podcast can learn about what things are happening currently in the digital marketing space, and what is the future, or what things are going to come. May it be a designer, a video editor, or someone who's just starting off as an intern. So this is the main reason I think why we started the podcast, to talk to people in and around who we know,
Yeah.
people who are pioneers in a particular field.
So
Someday would come here and sit with us and talk about things which can help other people who are watching this podcast grow.
yeah, and I'm so happy that we are going to get to be a part of this fluid journey. Like, I don't want to really put a particular idea to this podcast or a particular way to do things. I think I would love to keep this very fluid. Like, it's not something that we've put into our minds as a money making,
I think it is like a journey, and we are telling people to be a part of our journey. Like,
Yeah.
day in, day out, what things are happening with us as individuals running an agency, or people who are working with us. May it be clients, may it be brand managers, may it be people from our team. So this podcast is about how we are going ahead in our life.
Yeah, I think it's more than marketing and all of that.
No, I don't think it's about marketing. It's
About
just
life
about
as
life.
usual. Yeah,
Life
yeah,
as
yeah.
usual.
And because marketing is a major part of our life, I think most of this podcast will be about that. But I'm so happy that we took the time out and did this. And this is for the first time we'll tell people to subscribe to our channel.
Yeah, hopefully subscribe to Marketing Crew, and we'll meet you again someday. We don't know when, but
Yeah, whenever we have the time again to sit down and do this on a Sunday, and Sahil doesn't have any plans, we can.
it's not about plans. This is the first time that I'm talking in front of the camera, so I hope you understand. And next time when we sit, we have a few people with us who can talk about different things happening with them.
So, looking forward to seeing you again. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in, and we're really, really happy that you're a part of our journey as well.
Okay. I think Manan has said everything that is needed. It is time to go. So please subscribe. Thank you.